Well, hello and welcome. I'm Jennifer English, and you are joining us here today on the KeepTucsonCooking.com channel of the Tucson Metro Chamber of Commerce Network, and we are thrilled that you're here. You can always go to youtube.com to the Chamber's sites as well as on Facebook for more updates. And in this exciting opportunity to share the story in the launch of Keep Tucson Cooking, we have one of Tucson's most beloved restaurateurs. He's the owner of Gentle Ben's Brewing Company and representing the Main Gate Square area of town, the district that is the heart and soul of the greater university area. It's the place that if you are part of Tucson and you go to events or you went to the University of Arizona, it is a place you know and actually love. Gentle Ben's is a beloved institution, and it's a cornerstone in the district of Main Gate Square, an area that really is one of the vital, pivotal cultural cornerstones of our culinary community and our cultural existence. Richard Fifer joins us now, and welcome. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I appreciate you having me, and I'm doing well.
The pandemic has had a tremendous impact on the hospitality industry across the country, and the changes that we've all had to make in the operations, the regulations at every jurisdictional level have sometimes even been difficult to keep up with. You have been tireless. You've really been a warrior, a crusader, and you have persevered as a practitioner of the hospitality arts. It can't have been easy. Can you talk a little bit about the last several months, almost a year, as COVID has impacted you and your Main Gate Square neighborhood? You've kept as vital as I can imagine any place has in town, and I can't imagine that's been easy. So I want to give you the chance to talk a little bit about Gentle Ben's and what's been going on.
Yeah, operating a restaurant in normal times can be very difficult and come with its own challenges. And then in the last year, there's been, a million other challenges that have been thrown on top of us on top of that. We just have adapted and overcome and, kind of had to roll with the punches. Things are changing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and even in current times. And all we can do is adapt, put our best foot forward, and try and put the best experience we can for the guests out there while keeping them safe.
We love to talk about this moment in time being one in which an alignment between the legacy and the history of a place like Tucson has brought to life through its restaurants and hospitality purveyors is aligning with the future. And I wanted to have you talk a little bit about the legacy of Main Gate Square and the history of Gentle Ben's. It is such an important, essential component of the cultural community you've built there.
Absolutely. Main Gate Square and the Marshall Foundation have done a fabulous job of creating the culture that we do have down on University. Without them, it wouldn't be the same. They're kind of the glue that holds everything together and that keeps the atmosphere and the culture and the events. Everything is Main Gate Square. We've been around a long time. We've been around 50 years. This is actually our 50th year. We weren't always directly in the location that we're in right now. We were on 2nd and Tyndall, where the Marriott was up until the mid-90s, and then moved into our current location. And we don't have plans of going anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure.
What is Gentle Ben's Brewing Company, and how long have you been in business?
We've been in business for 50 years. And what it is, we're a restaurant and bar in the heart of the Arizona campus. And when you talk to anyone, when visiting Gentle Ben's, you can kind of get a different experience on what their perception of Gentle Ben's is, which I think is really awesome. It depends on the time of the year that you're coming in. It depends on the events that you're there for, and it depends on the time of the day or the time of the week. And so that's one of the really awesome parts about owning Gentle Ben's is it's a little different part of Tucson, depending on what what customer you're getting and walking in the door that day.
I wanted to ask you, how do you think food really connects people in the Main Gate Square area and in Tucson in general?
Absolutely. So I think one of the things that we do is we provide an experience for the guests to come out. And right now with COVID, those experiences are pretty limited. And so for us to be able to provide quality food, craft cocktails, craft beer, as well as, an ambiance and a personality. They're not there just to drink or just to eat. It's kind of a combination of all the above. And our goal is to make sure that they leave with having a great time and enjoying great food.
I want to ask you a little bit about the Tucson Metro Chamber, and in particular, the Chamber's Tucson Restaurant Advisory Council. They're the creators of Keep Tucson Cooking, and this initiative is designed to really encourage the public to support our local restaurants. Can you talk a little bit about how essential and integral the Chamber, the Tucson Metro Chamber, and in particular the Chamber's Tucson Restaurant Advisory Council has been to keep you connected informationally and through business and through communications? I don't think I could understate or overstate how important it is, and I'm going to give you the chance to describe it from your point of view. How important has the Chamber been?
It's been extremely important. Kind of like I mentioned before, everything changes on a daily basis, and trying to keep up with, not only running the business, but current regulations and different opportunities that are out there to make sure that the small business can succeed. They have been our lifeline. They're our biggest advocates. They're our biggest voice. They're our biggest resource. And during the pandemic, or I guess we're still in it, but during the heat of it, there were weekly meetings, and sometimes I wasn't busy enough to attend them, but there'd always be a recap or an email going over things with resources and links to different things that significantly helped us. Some of it was regulations on what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do. In the beginning, it kind of went back and forth a little bit, and they were a great resource to have. But then also, different grant opportunities that have been out there, or they helped us extend our patio onto the sidewalk so we can serve food and drinks on the sidewalks in front of Gentle Ben's. So,
why is it important to keep Tucson cooking?
I think the most important thing is the small businesses that the Chamber has helped survive and will continue to help. And it's a part of the community and the culture that is Tucson. And not only in the culture, but also in the jobs that come with all the restaurants thriving because of them.
We've got to talk about the city of gastronomy. It means that not only do we have vibrant, delicious places to eat today, but it refers perhaps more significantly to our 4,000 years history and tradition of continuous cultivation of crops. And you can't be growing food and making food and not be cultivating conviviality. Gentle Ben's is a premier purveyor and cultivator of conviviality in modern Tucson. And we can't look at our past without gleaning lessons about how to survive any number of difficulties over the 4,000 years and how we're all going to survive. I want you to talk a little bit about the city of gastronomy and how it informs your menu choices and your hospitality choices at Gentle Ben's Brewing, and how that gives anybody that comes there a sense of what they can sip and taste to know where they are in the world, how important that is to you all. Can you address that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it was an awesome designation that has come to Tucson, and I think will be tremendous in the ability for Tucson to grow and continue to grow in the food scene. And for us, being in Tucson, the Southwestern flair, the food and the cocktails, like you see in a lot of the restaurants in Tucson, I think is key and is a big part of Tucson and the culture here in the Southwest.
So what's the dish that you want to cook for me? Because you're my friend in the business. Say it's my first time visiting Gentle Ben's Brewing. What do you want to make sure that I taste? What do you want me to try? And what's the thing you eat most frequently from your own menu?
So last time you were in the restaurant, I recommended our roasted beet salad served over arugula, feta.
It's so good. It's so good.
That one is absolutely delicious and one of my go-tos. But my fallback is always the Baja tacos. A traditional Baja taco with grilled mahi, the cilantro slaw, chipotle aioli. It's just a favorite.
I want to give you the opportunity to share with people the mission of Keep Tucson Cooking, which is to encourage the greater community to support local restaurants and to dine out if they don't feel comfortable dining in. Would you address the purpose of Keep Tucson Cooking and how you want to encourage people to avail themselves and actually get out and dine out and take out and support our restaurateurs?
Absolutely. Dining out or taking out, supporting local, I think is huge. In the beginning of the pandemic, there are a couple large corporations, I'm not going to drop names, that are on our book as well. And, it would kind of break my heart to see some of the restaurants on University potentially wouldn't have made it, or we didn't know if they were going to make it. We knew the corporations would make it, or the large companies would make it through this. And so I had no problem, politely addressing these concerns with the customers that were walking by our establishment, or even sometimes try to bring their food by our establishment, and just reminding them that, the money that you spend local stays local. It supports people in the community a lot more so than it does when you're going to some of these larger corporations.
And I want to remind everybody that Main Gate Square is one of the hidden gems hiding in plain sight in our community, tucked just off of Speedway, between Speedway and Broadway, just around University. It's also got lots of activity developing. There's new places opening. It's thrived because it is such a rich community. Would you talk a little bit about the Main Gate Square community? It's more than just the U of A.
Absolutely. During the pandemic, things have changed and our demographics have changed a little bit. But when things are normal, it's every walk of life in Tucson, which is awesome. We have the museums around us. We have Centennial Hall, which does Broadway at Tucson shows. And those aren't venues that attract students. So it's people all around Tucson that are coming to see the museum or see a show and stop in for lunch or get dinner beforehand. Obviously, U of A sporting events are huge in the Tucson community and also draw in that non-student crowd. There's lots of business that goes around and people staying at the Marriott or the new graduate hotel behind us. And like you said, there's a lot more than students that visit the area.
And as our friend in the business, can you give us any tips about some of the best things on the Gentle Ben's menu that we can get to go that you would recommend not only travel well, but are really the things that you think are the most irresistible on your menu?
Yeah, absolutely. So traveling well is a big thing. So there's definitely a large portion of our menu that doesn't travel well. What I mentioned before with the beet salad, that would travel well. And also the ceviche is a newer item on our menu that's absolutely delicious with shrimp and mahi and citrus. And it obviously travels well and it's good.
So I'm going to give you the last word and encourage you to share your thoughts about the Tucson Metro Chamber, the Tucson Restaurant Advisory Council, and the Keep Tucson Cooking program.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been a lifeline for us and a great resource. And sometimes I feel bad that I haven't been able to contribute more to help you guys and help you guys help other restaurants. But I plan to do that moving forward. Like I mentioned before, just the resources available, the help, you being our voice, the chamber is just awesome. I can't say enough nice words about them.
And if a restaurant operator is not presently a member of the chamber, can you give us a couple of reasons why they absolutely should reconsider and maybe join now? Because moving forward, the future of our food community will depend on it.
Yeah, I mean, you get so much out of it. And if you have the time to commit, then that's one thing. If you don't, I guess I'm not speaking for the chamber at this point, but there's just so many resources that even if you can't attend meetings, that there's so many things out there, and the cost is not very significant for the amount of things that are offered to you and the opportunities that you get because of it.
And just as we're finishing up, Richard, I just want to say thank you so much for making time to visit with us on the occasion of the launch of Keep Tucson Cooking and the Tucson Restaurant Advisory Council's channel on the Tucson Metro Chamber Network on YouTube and on Facebook. And would you do us the favor of saying your name and introducing where you're from, and to just tell everybody to keep Tucson cooking?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Richard Fifer, and I'm actually born and raised in Tucson and an alumni from the U of A. So keep Tucson cooking.
Richard, thank you so much and good luck. Everybody, dine out, dine local. If you can't sit in, take it out. Let's get to go and let's support our operators, restaurateurs, and the hospitality industry that makes us who we are. Just remember, this is Tucson, and in Tucson, there is no them, there's only us.